Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello, my name is Pt.Kurniawan. I'm from 12B Oil and Gas Production Department. Now, I want to present on the job training report at Pt.Pertamina EP Field Cepu District 1 Kawengan, 30th January until 28th February 2020. Compiled by Yogi Aditya Kurniawan, 1846A. Acknowledgement. Thanks we are devoted to Allah Almighty who has bestowed all His favor and hidayat so that we can complete the full work practice report titled Lifting Method and Data Well Pt.Pertamina EP Field Cepu District 1 Kawengan smoothly done well. The field work practice report I was studying when implementing the PKL for 2 months. At the times of field work practice, I gained a lot of experience and acknowledgement that could not be obtained at school. In this report, there are knowledge and technology on the method lifting of District 1 in Kawengan field of Pt.Pertamina EP Asset 4 Field Cepu. This report is prepared to fulfill the text of field work practice in accordance with the curriculum of Vocational School of Migas Cepu. We realize that this report can be good and perfect thanks to help of some parties, both material assistance, knowledge, and passion and motivation. For that, we would like to thank you for one, Mr. Cahyono Hani Wijayanto as well checker, then Mr. Sungkono as well checker, Mr. Jarum as well checker, then Mr. Chioni Hadi as well checker, then Mr. Faisal Amin as well checker, then Mr. Swastono as well checker. Pertamina EP Asset for Field Cepu Profile. Pertamina EP Asfor is a subsidiary of Pertamina EP which is responsible for holding the working area of several Indonesia courts based in Surabaya. The field is held by EPSS4 such as the Cepu Field, Field Sukawati, Field Poleng, Field Papua, Field Donggi Matindok, and Unitasi Tiung Biru. Cepu is district in Blora Country, Central Java Province, which is directly adjacent to the province of East Java. The area of Cepu is 4,877 4,897.43 population of 848.396 inhabitants. The Cepu area has long been known as a natural resource production region such thick oil and gas. Even before Indonesia became independent, the Cepu region had been used by Dutch as their oil producer. Initially, the oil field area in Cepu was first discovered by a national scientist and the bearer of Belanda Andreenstoep in 1880 in Ladok village, Cepu. Andreenstoep did the first drilling in Lodok. Then production process. Lifting method. Artificial lift method is an appointment made with the help of equipment in search of energy. This due to the low reservoir pressure from the well, so it is not able to remove natural petroleum. In the method of lifting crude oil, there are various types of tools and how they work, such as vacuum pump, sucker pump, electrical submersible pump or ESP, gas lift, jet pump, hydraulic pumping unit or HPU, and progressive cavity pump or PCP. Artificial lift method in District 1 Kawengan are divided into three types. 1. Sucrose pump unit or SRP, 2. Electrical submersible pump or ESP, and 3. hydraulic pumping unit or HPU. Sucrose pumping. This is picture of sucrose pump. Sucrose pump or sucrose pump. Some pump or the sucrose pump is a pump that is specially designed to transfer fluid from the surface of the soil. These pumps use pistons as the main components for sucking fluid from within the soil. These pumps are typically used in oil drilling. Advantage on disadvantage of sucrose pumps. 1. Advantage of sucrose pump are A. Not easily broken. B. Easily repaired in the field. C. Flexible and the operation rate, fluid types, and speed can be adjusted. D. The price is relatively cheap. 2. Disadvantages for a sucrose pump are A. Heavy and need place area transportation is difficult, not good for slope wells. C. Need a large unit once for the large production rate and deep well. Short types of type pumping unit. According to the American Petroleum API standards, pumping unit can be differentiated into three types as follows. This is air balance, this is a hydraulic, this is a Mark II, this is a conventional. A standard of conventional type. Instead, the Samson post supports the walking beam. At the center pumping unit type is most widely used in the petroleum industry and available in various sizes, some of which reach 100 horsepower. B. Low torque unit or Mark II. Instead, the Samson post support the walking beam at the rear end and the same free size. Usually, this unit requires less horsepower when compared to conventional type. C. Air balance unit. In this type of compressed air tubes are used as the replacement control rate. Pumping unit is smaller and lighter than other type of unit equipped with air compressor. Size are not limited, but some reach 150 horsepower. 1. Main parts of pumping unit. In the outline sucrose pumping has the following main components. We start from this brake. This is a brake lever. This is a prime mover. This is a belt guard. This is a brake cable. This is a base. This is a brake. This is a gear reducer. Gear reducer. This is a crank, pitman, equalizer, equalizer bearing. This is a walking beam, center or saddle bearing. This is a Samson post. This is a horse head. This is violin hanger or bridle. This is a bridle box. This is a carry bar. This is a polish rod. This is stuffing box. This is T. This is casing head. Whoa. This is casing strings. This is a tubing. This is a soft rod pump. This is a rod pump. Next, one main equipment above surface pumping unit. Prime mover. This picture of prime mover. Prime mover is an electric motor with a rotation of 800 until 100. 800 until 1200 RPM that serves as the main mover of the entire series in the pump, whether that is on the surface or under the surface. Gear reducer. Gear reducer is a tool that serves to lower the RPM motor into a pump SPM. In the gear reducer, there is an RPM gear, lowering gears to move the power or energy from the prime mover to the gear reducer using the V-belt protected by the belt cover as a safety. Crank arm. Crank arm is a tool used to connect a low run axis crankshaft that comes out of a gearbox that rotates 390 degrees. The hole in the crank also serves as the seat of the crank pin bearing that connect the crank with the pitman and place long chains in the palm steps. The crank arm also serves as the place of the counter rake positions. Pitman. This is a part. This is a pair of pitman. Pitman is a pair of stalks as liaisons between the crank on the pitman bearing, which serves to forward the upturn motion generated by the pitman and counterbalance of range pumps that are located inside well throughout the road. Equalizer. This is an equalizer. The equalizer is the top position of the pitman that can move freely according to the needs of oil pumping operation. Walking beam. This is a walking beam. Walking beam is a tool that serves rotary motion changer into Boyle's motion that is supported by the center bearing and Sampson poles. And then horsehead. This is a horsehead. Horsehead is placed at the tip of walking beam with a shape of 1/8 meter circle for road movement of the string to rise down, reciprocating remain center with well bore. Carry bar and line hanger or bridle. This is a carry bar. This is a bridle. Carry bar and line hanger or bridle serves to connect the horsehead with police route using wire line hanger or bridle which is associated with the carry bar or the police route. To prevent the carry bar from changing its position, it is designed by police route clamp. Staving box. Mounted on well-kept function that serves as a deterrent or oil holder so that the oil doesn't spray out together, equal to ups and downs of the polish route so that flow can be directed towards the flow line. In the stuffing box, there is a packing or rubber to resist oil leakage. Polish route. This is a polish route. Polish route or white handlebar is handlebar connector between the shock road circuit beneath the surface with the device pumping unit above the surface. Polish route has a strength exceeding the shock road because the polish route holds the maximum load of the whole shock road range. Polish route has a slick and smooth surface and is made of hard steel. Counterbalance. This is a counterbalance. Counterbalance is a pair of weight that serve to assist the prime mover power at the upstroke when the counterbalance moves down as big as the potential energy, because the biggest prime mover work is when the upstroke pump move up, where a certain amount of oil is raised on the surface. 2. Main equipment parts under surface pumping unit. Pump, subsurface pump. The undersurface sucker pumping equipment consists of four main components: working barrel, plunger, driving valve, and standing valve. Subsurface pump components. There are working barrel. Working barrel is a cylinder tube where the plunger rises. Plunger, which, which is long piston made of metal stainless steel and moving up and down, according to the pump principle, that serves to remove the fluid from the bottom of the wells to the turbine column until the surface. Driving valve, which is a ball-shaped valve, which move open and shut and is located at plunger. Standing valve, which is ball-shaped valve in located at the bottom of the pump that serves to hold the fluid so as not to drop or exit the working barrel at the stroke. Pipe or tubing. Tubing is medium of fluid flow formation from the ground well the surface. In the oil well with the method of lifting artificially suckered pump. Tubing also functioned as a place to hang pumps with the type of tubing types. The length of tubing according to APA standards is divided into two ranges. Range 1 length 20 after 20 until 24 feet. Range 2 length 28 until 32 feet. Connection type tubing. APA non-upset, external APA upset, Atlas Bradford, and VAM. While tubing size according to AP or OD. This is size of tubing. Grade tubing. This is graded tubing. There are F25, H40, G55, C75, and 80 and P10. Gas anchor. Gas anchor is a tool is mounted on a series at well that serves to reduce or mitigate the occurrence of gas lock on the production well. Suckerette. The suckerette is a string of suction rod which is the seat of the plunger and serves to continue the motion up and down of the surface equipment to the undersurface pump unit. Pony rod. Pony rod is a steel rod just like the sucker rod but has a shorter length. Pony rod functions to adjust the length of the sucker rod needed to suit the depth of the pump beneath the surface. Pony rod size equals to sucker rod size. 3. Operations pumping unit. A. Check before start. First, check feedback, then check polish rod possible to match a rounded surface. Then check all the valves starting from head to station wherever it's open. Then install a good pressure gauge. Then install a good pressure gauge to nozzle pressure. Then check the interior unit including a bridle that almost broke. B. Procedure start. First, remove brake prime mover loosen with gear reducer. Then turn on machine if it's prime mover using the machine. Release the brake and insert the pumping unit connection with the engine. Adjust the hardness of the stuffing box so that it's not too tight so that there is less leakage for lubricant. Then check and listen carefully the wall pumping unit for loose bolts, unusual noise, especially in bearings and gearbox. Then check the state of polish rod for line up or not. 4. Daily routine checks. First, check the pumping rate. If it's reduced, try to find out what caused it. Then listen for the prime mover sound, which should be the same at the upstroke and downstroke. Then check stopping box for too tight or loose. Then check for loose foundation, pumping unit vibration, and extraneous noise in the pumping unit itself. Then are all the bearings in the pumping unit greased or lubricated according to what they should or not. Then check the motor load is balanced during upstroke with downstroke. 3. Sucker pumping problems. Problems that are often encountered in sucker pumping so that it does not pump or does not pump at all. First, leaking traveling valve, leaking standing valve, and then the mix or worm plunger, then working valve worm, leaking tubing, gas lock, and then sucker disconnects. And then pump is electrical submersible pump or ESP. Basic definition of ESP. Electrical submersible pump or ESP is a type of centrifugal pump driven by an electric motor designed to be able to be immersed in a working fluid source. The goal is to be able to avoid cavitation in the pump. This special design pump is used in special conditions as well, lifting water from source springs that are in the ground, lifting fluid in the form of the sludge or mud, and also lifting crude oil in the petroleum drilling process. Main parts of ESP equipment. In general, electrical submersible pump equipment can be divided into two parts, namely major parts of the equipment on the ESP surface. There are transformator, switchboard, emitter, surface cable, junction box, then wellhead, bleeder valve, root cable, splice tubing, fluid cable, pump, intake gas separator, protector motor, and centralizer. Major part of equipment on the ESP surface. Transformator. It is tool to change the voltage which can be used to increase or decrease the voltage. This tool consists of a cord surrounded by a coil of copper wire. Switchboard. The switchboard is work control panel on the surface when the pump is working, equipped with a motor control overload and underload protection as well as a recording instrument that can work manually or automatically in the event of a deviation. Recording ammeter. The RAM is mounted on a complete lock device with a pen which will write down the amount of current the motor is experiencing. Junction box. The function of junction box is placed between the wellhead and the switchboard for safety reasons. Major parts of equipment under ESP surface. A. PSI unit, pressure sensing instrument. PSI or pressing PSI or pressure sensing instrument is a device that records the pressure and temperature in the well. B. Electric motor. This type of electrical motor submersible pump is three-phase two-pole induction electric motor filled with special lubricating oil that has high electrical resistance, electrical strength. C. Protector. Protector or radar is a device used to protect the pressure in the motor and the pressure in the annulus. Protector or radar is often called the seal section or central relief or equalizer or ODI. D. Intake. Intake is the entry of fluid from the bottom of the well to the pump to the surface. E. Pumping unit. The pump is unit multi-stage centrifugal pump which consists of impeller, diffuser, shaft, and hose. The working principle of this pump is that the fluid that enters the pump through the intake will be received by the lowest stage of the pump. The impeller will push it in. As a result of the centrifugal process, the fluid will be thrown out and received by the diffuser. F. Electrical cable. The cable is a type of three-conductor. The main function of the cable is a medium for transferring electric current from the switchboard to the motor in the well. The cable must withstand high voltage temperature, gas migration pressure, and the stage of fluid absorption from the well. G. Check valve. The check valve is usually installed in tubing 2 until 3 joint above the pump. It aims to keep the fluid above the pump. If the check valve is not installed, the fluid leak from the tubing through the pump which can use backflow of the fluid upward. H. Centralizer. Then this is the last of pump and the Kawengan. Hydraulic pumping units or HPU. A. Basic definition of hydraulic pumping unit or HPU. Hydraulic pumping unit or HPU is a type of rod pump. Sucker pump is used as an alternative to the artificial lift system. This pump is used if there is not enough gas in the field, so the gas lift system cannot be operated. This is only for oil. HPU pump advantage. It is easier to move and install from one well to another well because it does not require a foundation and simple setup techniques. When changing the SPM and strut length, it is easier. In changing the SPM, there is no need to change the pulley and In the determining the straight length, there is no need to use heavy equipment to shift the crank pin as in the nut pump. Well optimization with the high HPU to tool can be done precisely and easily by checking the speed parameters and pump steps that can be done anytime with a shorter time so that production losses can be reduced. The use of electric is more efficient than the nut pump, reducing of risks of stepping bulk leaks due to the placement of hydraulic jack in the center. Then rental costs are cheaper than nut pump. HPU pump disadvantage. First, not suitable for large production and then limited to all depth. Then less suitable for sloping and offshore wells. The working principle of the HPU installation is as follows. First, high pressure hydraulic fluid from the power pack is pumped into a hydraulic jack to transmit pressure from the hydraulic fluid to an up and down motion in the hydraulic. Then from the hydraulic movement, the polisher thread continues to sucrot and the plunger so that the fluid moves up down which is the step movement of the pump. If the plunger moves upward or upstroke, then under the plunger there will be a pressure drop so that the bottom well pressure is greater than the pressure in the pump. This condition causes the standing valve to open and fluid to enter the pump. At the end of the upstroke, volume below the plunger is completely filled with liquid, and when the plunger moves downstroke, the standing valve will close because the plunger is pressing on the fluid. At the same time, the fluid will press the trapping valve. The fluid will come out of the plunger and enter tubing. This process takes place repeatedly so that the fluid in the tubing will move up to the surface and flow to the separator through the flow lane. Problems with the sucrot pump. The make to sucrot pump was caused by problems with sand, rust, and gas. The parts that are damaged include plunger, the presence of sand or scald on the plunger, causing it to get stuck with the working barrel. Then, ball is oval or not round due to sand, scald on collision between ball and cake wall. Then, the working barrel becomes deflated, stuffing box is leaking due to leakage during HPU or pumping unit settings, rod broke because of corrosive fluid. The HPU equipment consists of power pack, hydraulic jack, and subsurface equipment. 1. The power pack function of the hydraulic fluid to the hydraulic jack, which consists of the following components. There are electrical control box, flow control valve, system relief valve, tank weldment, oil side gates, manifold box, pressure switch, and hand pump. 2. Manual pumps are expected to use in emergency operation and will require multiple cells to lift standards varies. 1. Pressure gauge, accumulator, pump, and then electric motor, then EFO, valve and coil, then base filter assembly, then directional control valve, then cabinet. 3. Equipment below surface. The function of the sucrot pump equipment in the well is to help process the well fluid to the surface through the tubing. The sucrot pump unit consists of tubing and pump. The pump in the well consists of several components including working barrel, plunger, standing valve, wrapping valve, and anchor. Closing. Conclusion. After the implementing of the job training, I was ready to conclude that A. In job training, we can combine the theory and practice in the actual field. B. In a little job training, we gain experience from the result of practice. C. The implementation of a job training gives so many benefits to all of the students of vocational high school. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.